nice of you to come listen to us again. I am Deej Barons.
I'm Shari Fesco.
And I'm Demi Constantine.
And we are your Saturday Night Ladies. This is episode 40.
Oh, for us. Yes.
Getting close to our first anniversary, too.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Oh, time is crazy.
This week, we are talking about SNL UK, episode 6 for the first series, with Aimee Lee Wood and musical guest Meek, which was broadcast on May 2nd, 2026. Recently, SNL UK had revealed their return date. It's going to be September 12th. So 2 weeks before the main Saturday Night Live starts up again. All of the cast is back. I don't think they've added anyone new. I don't think they need to add anyone new. They got a good group there. More of that on the way. Now, let us get into this episode. Get your big dumb cup. Get your big dumb cup. Put on your big dumb hat. And let's talk about SNL UK, okay? Cold Open. King Charles, as played by Larry Dean, and Queen Camilla, played by Emma City, returned from the trip to the U.S. Congress and have an unexpected run-in from familiar faces. First to come in is George Fouracres as Keir Starmer, who has hijacked the plane because if the king and the queen haven't landed, they can't run the country. There's a bunch of different politicians here. Celeste String was playing another candidate, I think maybe the Green Party candidate. Jack Shep was also hijacking because he's the only person who likes Keir Starmer. I do believe that they played both their parts excellently. I don't know much about Camilla, but she, from what I've seen, that is very much spot on. Anytime we see George Fouracres is always very happy. Jack Parts was very brief. One thing he did when he took off his hat, he had this really, I don't know if that was an other hat or a weird hair bun or hair bob or whatever it was. Their cold open is very, very efficient. And that's what we love it for.
Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency.
Oh, 100% agree. Efficient and effective. Sent the joke home with, Starmer wanting to stay in office, so he's keeping them up in the air. All the impressions were on point. Everybody was funny. Emma City is a genius, in my opinion. She nails Camilla, as DJ already said. And yeah, this was so much fun. I wrote in my notes, as I write pretty much every week, why can we not replicate this or take some notes or something? Because their cold opens, they're almost always political, or more often than not, and they nail the joke. They don't run it into the ground. It isn't 5 minutes or 6 minutes. It's like a nice, compact little 3 or 4 minutes. Come on, U.S. 52's coming up. Take them notes.
I think they are very efficient with really solid cold opens from what we've seen. And again, I just want to give props to threading this needle that pretty effectively skewered everyone involved, but didn't make fun of them, wasn't mean. I don't know if U.S. politics can, take that, because I think they've been trying to do that, Shari, in the U.S., and everyone's like, we want blood, and we do. So, we'll just let them have it. And so I think they are being a little bit British about it, but that's besides the point. Really fantastic. Granted, it's if we stay in the air, I'm the pilot by surprise. If we stay in the air, then there's going to be no change of government. And Camilla, she's on weed gummies. So that's a great impression of Charles, great impression of Keir Starmer again. I don't know what's going on there, but somehow Fouracres fashions an impression out of it.
Time for monologue. Those who don't know, Aimee Lee Wood. Talking about her in general first. She was great. Absolutely great.
She was great.
Every single show, very, very good shows. And there was a lot of talk beforehand will she say something about the whole impression debacle from SNL when they did the White POTUS? Didn't at all, which is fine. One thing she wanted to do, and that was scat. And what she was doing wasn't really scat, bringing Scorpio Moon energy to Saturday Night Live. Cute, charming, engaging, everything you want a monologue to be.
I simply second everything Deej said. Charming, sweet, funny, relatable. She wrapped it all up, again, effective and efficient with their monologues, too. They never overstay their welcome. So, yeah, a great way to kick things off.
Yeah, she didn't mention anything about the SNL US thing, so maybe it's a bit pretty gracious all the way around. Also, I think she said she was from Northern Northern England or Northern Ireland? So I know there's like a huge difference in between those two.
That would be Northern England.
I really like how they are mentioning what parts of UK they're from. So for the US audiences, it's like, oh, it's not all the same, really. They have like distinct cultures and stuff. So I really appreciate that. And I've never seen any of her shows at all. I only know who she is because of SNL US and that whole thing with Sarah Sherman. She seemed really game. And as the episode progressed, that was proven true.
Northern England, which is called the North, it goes to the Scottish border to the Midlands, which major cities are Manchester, Liverpool, and Newcastle.
Where's Birmingham in relation to that?
It is in the West Midlands region.
Okay. Thanks. I filter everything through Black Sabbath. So I'm like, all right, I have my bearings now. Thanks. Okay.
One thing I just realized, out of the 8 episodes that they've had of SNL UK, 50% of the hosts have been female.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that.
Wonderful hits keep on coming with SNL UK. Now, I rewatched this today, and I completely forgot about this song. It's a music video called She's Dangerous. Aimee Lee Wood, Hamed, and Celeste Dring. Is this kind of some kind of variation on Kristen Wiig's Red Flag? This is an 80 pop ballad banger about a woman who is just a total klutz. So she's dangerous because she'll probably bump into you or fall over or cause unintentional damage. I love this so much. I was a teenager in the 80s, and this is just the kind of music I was listening to. They even had the 80s video, almost a Vaseline lens kind of deal. The right style and the video production of that era of music was perfect. This is one I actually had to watch a couple times because it's just so darn good.
And as the other Gen Xer in the trio, I should say, I completely agree. They nailed the look. They nailed the feel of the MTV video, which was so huge at that time. And Aimee is such a great physical comedian. I mean, she does a great job just knocking into everything. And her poor Hamad Abishan, who keeps getting knocked into. I think he's her lover, and he's also her keyboardist, and she keeps knocking him over. And then she's got the helmet, which is such a great visual. So yeah, this was brilliant work all around. Very fun, and I love the 80s, so definitely resonated with me.
Don't, Amy. Let me just finish what I'm going to say. So when it first came on, I was like, I don't remember this, and for good reason. So for me, it was very piffly, but I was like, I bet you Deej and Shari are going to eat this up. I bet you they're just on the other side, and I hope they do. I hope they see the vision that I am having cloudy vision over, and you did, and that makes me very happy. I will say, people that are trying not to fall, who fall anyway and fall spectacularly, is very funny. And she did that more than once, especially she's trying to get up using like a shower curtain, and then she fell like really hard. It was really funny. She did a very good job. And I'm so glad to hear that the Gen X ladies on this pod, it resonated with them. The world makes sense.
Well, 80s music is one of my favorite eras, as evidenced on my recent Pearson Cover Wars. Live sketch, Doctor Who. The Great Doctor, played by Hamed, companion, played by Aimee Lee Wood, travel back in time to the Great Time Library, where they visit Tree of Knowledge. I mean, I love that. Aimee as the companion. I'm not sure if they're trying to make her be Billie Piper, but I don't even think she had a name. The Tree of Knowledge is this, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a snotty, bulbous thing.
Oh, it's bulbous. It's oozy.
It's oozy. It's
crusty.
It speaks to farts.
Oh, so gross.
Oh, but aside from just her reactions to it, it's just kind of indescribable. But it did capture Doctor Who so very well. It's really hard to put words to sketch. I liked what they did. I can't quite remember all the lines that hit for me, but general her attitude with it really what sold it to me.
I do have one line written down. The tree is dripping and gross like her, Aimee's HPV flare-up.
It's exactly what it looks like. She said it about herself, though.
It was a lot of lines like that. Just her saying one inappropriate thing after another and insulting this poor tree. I do not know Doctor Who at all, but I know how huge it is, really globally, not just in England. I was surprised it took them this long to do a parody. because it's so beloved and it's been around so long. This definitely made sense, and I thought they did an excellent job. Again, the look of it is, I've seen clips, obviously, and the look of it is spot on, and everybody's having a good time here. And you don't have to even know the Doctor Who to find it funny, because I did.
I really respect the premise of this sketch. And I'm not a Whoobie. I've seen one episode of Doctor Who. Stone Angel is that's supposed to be like the best episode, and I've seen it. It was really good. They've like stumbled upon a planet where there's a tree of life, and if you kiss it, it will answer all of your questions. Seems like a pretty good science fiction plot. I'm like, all right, I'm on board. And I'm aware of like some of the canon with it, like the TARDIS and the scarf, and that's kind of all I know. She doesn't want to do it because it's disgusting, like we've all described. And it's like this, I don't know if there's actually a cast member in there or not, because you can see eyes, or if it's animatronic. I don't know what's going on, but it's like there was steaming involved and blurps, and it looked so gross. Like it was actually disgusting. So the reactions that Aimee Lee Wood could just lay on over all of her protestations about Shashi would refuse to do is like, well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And then take some hits off her triple mango vape, and they're all allergic to mangoes on that planet, so it's a problem. So then the Doctor is like, I need to get out of here. I stop dating white women, which I thought was kind of funny.
Well, as the sole representative of the Doctor Who nerddom, this Doctor was based on the current Doctor, which is played by Ncuti Gatwa, the first Doctor Who of color. Garth made the rebase to Tom Baker era. I believe he was the fifth Doctor, who was the first Doctor that I watched. Oh, and the figure referred to is the Weeping Angels.
Thank you, Deej. Great episode. Very scary.
Those things are freaky.
I can't get it out of my head. I think of it like once a week.
I think the episode was called Blink. I could be wrong. Let's double check.
And there was a stone child. Someone told me to watch the one with the angels and one with the stone child, and I was like, I'm gonna watch both of them. And I only watched one of them.
It was season 3, episode 10. David Tennant was the Doctor. The angels turn into stone when any living creature observes them. Until you see them, they freeze. But you don't know if they're around you at all. They could be. We come to what I consider the sketch of the night. This is the Italian-American Mario and Peach. I haven't played a lot of Mario. I did play Donkey Kong back in the day, so I know enough of the lore. There's this series called After Happily Ever After. This is that. Aimee Lee Wood changing her voice to sort of like this Brooklyn accent. Flawless. The interplay between her and George Foraker's as Mario arguments that they have, totally epic. It's just this kind of thing you can imagine them doing. Any other normal contentious couple will be doing. Jack Shep coming in as the mushroom toad of the mushroom people. I would just laugh at all this and laughing out loud, marveling at Aimee Lee Wood's performance in this. So she has such a way that she can change her voice. I think I have to watch more things that she's actually in, because just in this episode alone, she is fantastic. And her comedic timing is on point. And especially in this, I love the set design and the costumes. It's Peach coming out, not Princess Peach in her pretty costume, more like, just come home from the shops, not bother to brush her hair, go out on a house coat kind of thing. This sketch was just pure perfection.
I find it funny that we went from one very beloved British franchise to one very beloved American franchise. Super Mario, Mario Kart, all of it. So huge. So it was very appropriate that they would be sending it up. And Amy was the perfect person to play Princess Peach. Visually, this was spot on. The costumes were great, as Deej already said. It all just worked. They're just a regular couple getting on each other's last nerve. And yeah, I agree. This was definitely in my tops too. A great send up of, like I said, a really beloved franchise. I love it when they take aim at American franchises, because they are so good at skewering it. And they're skewering it from a different perspective than it's skewed on US, because they're coming at it from a different angle. They don't live there, so they can really come at it differently, and I think that's quite clever.
Well, I would consider this more international, because the game was created in Japan and ported over to the US, so it's
true.
Mario is pretty much universally beloved.
Indeed.
The set design of this, it's supposed to be Mario coming home after a day's work, and he and Princess Peach get into a really kind of a vicious spat. You don't chase me anymore. You don't get hard anymore. Like getting really mean, like Married with Children style. They're just going at it. And yeah, Lee Wood wearing like juicy, like a sweatsuit combo and like a little, like this horrendously messed up blonde wig, like a little crown, like such a perfect rendition of Princess Peach. And she didn't drop the ball the entire sketch with the accent and the attitude. Very like Marissa Tomei, dissatisfied and sassy, very outspoken, just like very stereotypical. I thought that was so well done. She did such a good job with maintaining the energy throughout and like meaning it and like putting so much venom onto her insults. It was so good. Unlike Deej, I did not play it myself, but I was friends with lots of nerds who did. So I'm like adjacent to Mario Brothers and whatever, Mario Kart. Yeah, so very satisfying, great acting, great set design. I was I could not believe it was alive and not a pre-tape.
I love the comparison with Married with Children. Thank you so much for that, because it's just so appropriate. And we have a pre-tape. Enid Blyton's The Famous Five, which is so as our resident children's librarian, what have you found out about this book?
Oh, it is not only one book. According to EnidBlyton.net, so I went to his official website as I could. I tried not to just get it off a random site. There's 21 volumes in this series, and it goes back to the 40s.
Oh my God.
And it ended in the 60s. So this thing was around for a while, and it's old. But it is super beloved in England, and I think all throughout Europe, and I think India too. All the places that were colonized by England, or maybe not all of them, because Deej said that it's not huge in Canada, but I'm pretty sure it's very big in India, and it's huge in all of Europe. Enid is huge in all of Europe. I've had people ask me for the books, but I think it's because they're from other countries, because we don't have any of them, and they're completely out of print over here. But basically, it's 4 children and a dog, Timmy the dog, and George, one of the 4 children. The other 3 are siblings. George is the cousin, and George's parents own an island. And they have all these adventures on the island, and they solve mysteries. It's very much like, I don't know if you are familiar with the Boxcar Children, but it's very similar to that. Only instead of in a boxcar, they're on an island. They're solving mysteries. And the very first book, they're in a boat that looks exactly like the boat in this pre-tape. So they got the look of it spot on. And I guess the other thing that stood out for me was there's a cameo by Tom Holland, who's hinting about maybe coming on US next year as the non-binary dog, Timmy. So, I mean, I love that it's honoring books, and it's the second Enid Blyton. So she is huge in England, because last week, Nicola did that rap, and she's going to be in a movie that's based on Enid Blyton book. So Enid's huge. I get it. It's a big thing in England. Again, as Demi always says, we're always learning about their pop culture, and I find that fascinating. So, kudos for that.
Well, speaking of that movie, I saw adverts for it this week. So it's being released. It was released in March in the UK, and it's coming out to North America. Soon. So it was the Faraway Basketball Tree or something like that. The main mystery books that I read when I was a kid was, of course, Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. Before then, Encyclopedia Brown. A lot of the Choose Your Own Adventure books. So this is not something that came across my way, but I like the concept of it, by taking an older series that people love and giving it a Gen Z makeover that no one wants. The only reason why George Foreigner's character isn't doing the Gen Z thing due to some sort of legal thing where he can't be portrayed as anything other than what he is. And that was actually Tom Holland?
I believe so. If he looked like him to me.
That was Larry Dean as the dog. I mean, I get the concept, but this is one of the ones where I can't even call it piffle, because it's based on something that people in the UK would know, and some other parts of the Commonwealth. So we just have to accept the fact that sometimes we're just not going to get it.
The surface level stuff is like, okay, it's a beloved franchise. I have no idea what it is. But Chronicles of Narnia, Boxcar Kids, Encyclopedia Brown. All right, I get the gist. It's a fantasy, but and it's a beloved thing. Let's shoehorn some Gen Z stuff into it. That will never not be funny to me. Because also it's like, I'm like, oh, is that what they're into? Okay, good to know. But the fact that there's actually a movie coming out and there's a chance that some of those plot devices may be in this movie is really, really funny to me.
We come to a moment of piffle.
We'll see about that.
The Lost Property Bomb. Not my favorite. Not a train station where Aimee Lee Wood visits a lost property office to retrieve luggage she claims contains a bomb. It has Jack Shep and Annabelle Marlowe. Jack Shep is the one that he's dealing with. And I'm not as offended as I was with the Matt Damon dance and teacher sketch. I'm not going to do a big rant on this, but it had some funny bits and the acting was always great, but it's just piffle. 100% purebred piffle.
I liked it more than Deej, but I have to agree. It was definitely piffly. There wasn't a lot of substance. I did enjoy the storytelling and the fact that they became fast friends and then they weren't friends anymore. It was, it was short, sweet. I enjoyed it enough. I liked Claire's comment about how they seemed like very good friends. That was a nice little bit, in and out bit. But yeah, I completely agree with Deej. This was pretty much the piffle of the night, even though I did enjoy it.
I'm going to say not piffle. I thought it was very cute, the way that the unexpected allyship, although I have to say, I'm wondering if it's the same writer who was writing about the hostage situation. I think it was, I forget the guy's name. From
Yes, I got shades of that too.
Right, like unexpected alliance over like pop girly stuff. Like in this situation, like that situation, like the captive was trying to get dating advice with their situationship from her captor, and they're unexpectedly on the same page. Like, girl, oh my God, girl. And then this, she was like, what was the premise? She was like demanding her bag or what was in it. And he was like asking her what was in it because I literally just saw it an hour ago. And I'm like, what? So maybe it is a little bit piffly. But I like the concept of it because they become allied really quickly because they connect on so much pop culture stuff. She rats him out. Like, she outs him. It's like, so is the baggage handler is gay, or like the baggage inspector is gay or something. And then he's like crushed. But if it was like the 90s, his world would be over. But it's 2026 in the UK. So I guess it's not as much. Just embarrassment. So that's progress. Not piffle on those accounts.
We don't usually talk about the musical guests for SNL UK, but this time I feel incredibly compelled to do so because this is the show that introduced me to Meek, born in UK, London, as Georgia Meek. She is born in 1995, so she's age 31. So she signed with BMG Records, and she's using her mononym, her last name, Meek, as her new name. She's previously written songs for Rita Ora, Alan Walker, Rehab, Tara Plank, so based on a lot of British artists. I love her. I love her so much. And part of it is because she's a plus-size queen. And this is just how she is. And the dress she's wearing is absolutely amazing. I just love the way it flowed, and I was listening to her album at work today, and I swear she gives this real reincarnation of Freddie Mercury in her attitude and her vocals. Her band is all female. There's one of the songs that wasn't further on here. It was a song that she has on her album called "Expensive Tastes." The main line from it is, "I'm a broke ass bitch, but I got expensive tastes." Can't remember if this was before or after Meek had performed on Jimmy Fallon. First one with the sort of banging drums, and the second one that she did was Beautiful Freaks. And on that one with the vocals, that's where I was getting a lot of Freddie Mercury energy from her. I've just fallen in love with her. Yes, and part of it is because I'm a large woman, she's a large woman, so it's I kind of like her more than I don't mind Lizzo, but I definitely like this woman more because it's just the big dress that she has and her style that I've seen her in, and her songs and her attitude. I haven't felt this way about a female artist since Pat Benatar.
Wow, that is high praise. I enjoyed her too. And I don't think I quite as much as Deej, but I definitely enjoyed her. I loved her voice. I thought it was almost operatic in places. And I loved her 70s vibe. I compared her, I said that I felt some kind of Stevie Nicks vibes from her, but that she definitely had her own thing. She wasn't copying anyone. So yeah, she was a delight. Definitely someone I'd like to hear more of.
Okay, my turn. So, like Deej, I'm obsessed with this performance and with Meek. Obsessed. This is one of those performances where it's like, oh my God, thank you, SNL, for giving me this prepackaged, perfect morsel of Meek. Because everything about this performance, I'm talking about fabulous. I just rewatched it again. It's like, it's so good. It almost makes you want to cry. Like, it is so good. Everything about it is great. Her outfit. So first of all, she can sing so well. Like, if I was going to categorize it with this song, I'd be like, it's operatic pop. That's what I think it is. So when you said that, sorry, I'm like, yes. Her hair is just teased up and just more than one color, and it's huge, and it's amazing. And she's wearing so much makeup, and she's wearing this dress that it's like, I guess it's actually pants, but the way it's cut, it looks like it's like a big gigantic skirt with a cutout down the middle, but it's probably just, it's such a cool optical illusion. It's so artsy. And then her band, like female background singers, female guitarist, female on the keyboards, female drummer. I think there's a guy on like the bass, I think. And I think there's another guy too, but it's like a big full set band. They're all kind of, I don't know what genre they're dressing for, but it's all kind of different and all kind of cool. And the song is so aggressively pop. Like, I definitely get Stevie Nicks, I get Freddie Mercury, I get a lot of Lady Gaga, but she's very original. She's not, I don't hear any distinct threads I can pick out and be like, oh, she must have heard that album a million times. Like, I can't hear it. She's very much original, has her very specific lane that she's in. I don't know what it is, but we're like, oh, I like this lane. Everything about this performance made me so happy. I think I've watched it probably 10 times. Can't say good enough things. I'm so glad you wanted to talk about it, Deej, because I just needed to talk about it. And the fact that she has such a great voice and she's singing pop, it's like kind of punk rock that she's doing that. So that like adds to how much I love her, because she could do very, serious intonations or, serious like conventional music. And she's like choosing to use her voice for pop riffs. I love it. Everything about it.
The really like symbol forward drumming was part of what really made the song for me. Even the state of it, because I think like, all this shit's going on, but I'm still fucking fabulous, no matter what.
Yes.
That is the attitude we all need.
Yes.
That.
Put it in my veins. Yeah, Cardi B energy, like, give it to me. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Slightly different Cardi B, but still very, very, just very powerful, and she's beautiful. And they have got to get her a song to get her into the Eurovision Song Contest. I think she would absolutely be fabulous at that. And apparently, now that CBC has joined the European Broadcast Union, and they'll be competing in the 2027 Eurovision Song Contest. I'm very much looking forward to that, because Australia joined and has been there for a few years now. So I'm very curious as to what we come up with.
CBC joined the BB? Like, what happened? Who merged?
They've joined the European Broadcast Union. Yeah, it's an alliance of public service broadcasters whose values align with those of the EBU. There's 115 member organizations from 57 countries, 27 associate members, and further 17 countries. The European Song Contest started up after World War II, where they wanted to bring the nation back together, and so they organized a song contest. That's been going on for about 53 years now. Weekend update. And let's go through some of the joke highlights that I have, because they're quite a reasonable amount. At the time, King and Queen of England had visited the U.S. Senate, and Trump was presented with an engraved bell. Ideally, Trump will wear the bell in a collar like a cat to warn young women when he is approaching. I like the mention of Camilla wearing Diana's Horcrux.
Yes.
Because I can totally see how it looks like that. Also around this time was the Correspondents' Dinner, where there was a horrific event where Trump shot himself. Then minutes later, shots rang out. This is a bit coming up I hope that they bring back, because so we're talking about how Patty, that a postman found a nest of pigeons living under his van. How times have changed. Pigeons used to carry the post, now the post carries the pigeon. And there's okay, what is this crap? I need to speak to the writer. She goes, looked at it, down below the desk, opened up before a pallet, and there's writers down there. All in a panic, and he's berating them. It's like, don't make me put the dogs down there. Before it goes back up to the desk, basically spits on them and then continues on. So I'm hoping this kind of becomes it's a recurring bit. Kind of hit on a different level as well as being funny. There's a new scanning technique that can help diagnose endometriosis. This completely non-invasive procedure will be available to women nationwide, just as soon as doctors work out how to make it incredibly painful. And okay, we're going to get into slightly TMI territory. This is a female-led podcast, so sometimes we're going to talk about female stuff.
Let's go.
Many years ago, I had the Mirena IUD put in because I couldn't be on Depo-Provera any longer back when I was at risk of getting pregnant. Imagine the worst cramping you've ever had in your life. Put this thing in beyond your cervix, and it may have been a bit easier if I had children before because it gets kind of stretched, but I'd never had children, so they keep saying that there's doctors who will say that, no, it's not painful at all, you'll just feel a little pinch. You feel more than a little pinch. Like later in the evening, I was in the ER because I was feeling so cramped and sick. I made it through the night with painkillers and a lot of hydration. There's a lot of doctors who refuse numbing because they don't truly believe that this doesn't hurt. But I'm sorry, there's a lot of female procedures that fucking hurt. Ask any woman who's had a mammogram. I mean, there has to be a better way other than squeezing your boob like a sausage to try and figure out if you got cancer or not. Totally relatable on that level. So for the correspondence, we have 3, which is one more than the SNL US usually has. The first one in the discussion after the state visit of Camilla and Charles, bringing a professional lip reader played by Hamid. Nothing he's doing is right. It can't even be considered a bad copy of bad lip reading. It's just not good at all. Anna complains that, wait, I thought you're a professional. Oh no, I've never done this before. And so he's not an actual lip reader. And then, so Anna, when he goes off, Anya says, yeah, that's the guy who told me he was a professional lip reader.
It's like, I need this.
Yes.
Let me have this. I need this. That was funny.
And we had Larry Dean on as himself, the captain of the group, talking about how you can tell how someone's going to vote by how they talk and how they present themselves. So he goes through various other British accents from different areas, difference between like a Democratic Northerner to someone in the South. Accents are on point. I'm going to guess this is probably a stand-up bit that he moved to this, which is fine, but it was incredibly funny. The one line that got me, Patty asked him, what does someone do when they vote green? And he says, don't worry, they'll tell you. Then we wrap up with Ayoade talking about destination weddings in a very unstable political climate. Comes in a perfectly awful bridesmaid getup. Patty's comments about what they should probably do. She's doing things like, oh, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Because, he's a guy. And there's a woman thing. Green time for Ayoade, which I always appreciate. All the correspondence. I think my favorite, though, has to be Larry Dean. Because I'm a big fan of different accents. I try to develop more on myself. So that was incredibly enjoyable for me.
Yeah, Weekend Update is always a lot of fun. I liked all 3 of the correspondents. I agree that I think it was Larry Dean doing all those accents was very, very, very impressive. Definitely my favorite one of the 3, though. I thought Ayoade was quite hilarious, too. And this destination wedding thing is getting kind of out of control, and expecting people to pay that and is a lot. So I thought that was a very good subject to hit on. Nice to see it's an international thing and not just here in the States. Everybody's doing it. So yeah, that great fun as always. I love these Weekend Updates. I love Anya. I love Patty. I love Patty yelling down to the writers, as Deej brought up. I hope that's a reoccurring gag because it was quite funny. And I love when SNL kind of is meta and references itself. So yeah, great fun. And I don't think there's been a bad weekend update on SNL UK. It's just always a joy.
Always a joy. All three correspondents hit. Anya and Patty both had killer lines. That was just a really fantastic weekend update. Ayawati was saying, where are the feminists? Emma Watson, where are you? Like, with everything going on, you're getting married in Sardinia. That's what's happening right now. That's what we're doing. I thought that was so fantastic.
That's the goal. That's the deal now. I had to. It just came up.
I think it works.
Piffle the second. Posh kids. Plus side column of this sketch. It involved every single cast member, including Anya and Patty. I know what they're going for, how posh people are pretentious and weird, and they have all these weird names. I have no problem with getting everything involved, but it was a joke that was beat to death and kept on beating like a dead horse that didn't need to be being beaten. I wanted the sketch to be over about halfway through. I found some parts to enjoy about, like their silly names, like one person, their name is Bacon, and every time the different people meet at the corner, it's, oh, this is a little awkward. Can we just take it over the side a minute? Piffle, piffle, pure piffle.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I mean, it was funny enough, but yeah, I'm not a big reality fan, and I thought that's what they were trying to skewer, perhaps, is all this reality that's everywhere. And I don't know how good a job they did of it. It was certainly passable, but yeah, I would agree with Deej. Pretty piffly for me, too.
Again, I'm going to say not piffle. I loved it. And this is why, like, when I was, like, growing up, like, as a kid, like, you watch TV and there's always adults and like, well, this is awkward. And you're like, what's awkward? Like, I don't get it. What's happening? Because you don't know who slept with who. You don't know that stuff when you're a kid. You don't understand why it's awkward. And then you grow older and people still are saying that. And you're like, no, it's not. Whatever situation it is. And then you get a little bit older and it's like, it's so stupid that even when you say something's awkward, that makes it more awkward. Like, it's such a Seinfeldian observation of mine. I think it's so funny when people say that. Like, well, this is awkward. Like, let it leave. Like, why are you there? Like, is this your way of flirting? So I think saying to someone, this is awkward is very piffly, but the fact that they kept doing it and with different permutations of the cast was really funny to me. And it's like, oh, this is one note. They're just going to keep saying that. Like, well, I'm here for it. I think it's great. So piffly, perhaps, but it landed with at least one person. So good job, SNL UK.
Yeah, the one downside with using piffle a lot is our pop filters are really having to stand up to the bilabial plosives for all you linguists out there. British pork. And I think the idea behind the sketch, because it's supposed to be a campaign for British pork, which is based on an actual commercial. They mentioned that the people from the pork board are here, and it's like, I'm going to guess Annabelle because she's really short with a female pig mask, Hamid as a boar, and then Larry Dean, someone who's covered in bacon. I'm having a feeling that because what they want to do, we want this to be really mean and aggressive and just have to be totally basically an asshole to everybody. And I think it was this pork council's idea to do this to get people not to eat British pork. We had George Fouracres, Larry Dean, Celeste, Emma, Aimee, Al, and Hamid. Al Nash was the director. Didn't want to give him a line read and start going through it. But the best thing about the sketch, and this is the first time this has probably happened on SNL UK, George Fouracres almost losing it. He comes very close,
holding on for dear life.
And he powers through it. Just when they're doing the final take, they're going through like, why don't they just hold the gravy boat and just look at this? And the one guy chewing very animatedly, or let's fill the signs with like lots of knives and forks on the plates, very much like the passive-aggressive holidays in SNL US. They actually play a commercial from way back when. Oh, apparently this was something that was very common when George Fouracres was a kid. And I could definitely see why they would want to parody this. And I didn't quite understand, like, the one dialogue at the end, it's like, British pork, it's got the lot. It's very, very British. Everything leading up to it and showing the actual commercial end was just a good cherry on top. But George Fouracres, you held strong. You made it through. You pretty much did like a Stefan move of covering your mouth and all that. So, this was a great way to end the night.
Oh, totally agreed. I love that this was a real commercial and they do all look very angry. So I get the parody totally. And this was, as a vegetarian, I thought this was just a great a great send up of meat eating. And I love the pig mask. I love the whole thing. It was the absolute riot. This is the way you do a commercial parody. Definitely, probably my favorite of the night.
I love this so much. What I love most about it, because it's clearly referencing something very inside joke to British people, because they were losing their minds in the audience. I'm like, oh, this is making fun of something that people know about and they know what's going on. So the commercial is like really aggressively promoting pork and like aggressively saying how great it is with their family. And it's really weird the way the father is like, and so the sketch is the lead up to filming the commercial, and like the director is telling him to like be angrier or something, because I don't know what the tone is, and everyone in the audience, I guess people of a certain age would know what the end state would be. So for them, everything is delicious because they're like, oh my God, they're doing it. I can't imagine what that must have felt like. For me, I got to like look at something backwards. And then I think I was on YouTube and the actual commercial came up separately by itself. And it was like uploaded like 17 years ago or something. And I was like, oh my God, this is a standalone real thing that they made fun of. Oh my God. And I think the UK people on the SNN podcast were saying like how insanely of a bullseye it was, like what a great, fantastic send up. And oh my God, George Foraker's barely made that out of that alive. He was like eating his hands. He was trying so hard and he pulled it out. He pulled it together. Just all around, just magnificent. 10 out of 10.
To me, it is pure piffle.
And thus, we come to the end. SNL UK, episode 6. Absolutely adore this episode. So much enjoying it. Aimee Lee Wood, absolutely wonderful host. And as we mentioned before, I'm so happy that half of the SNL UK posted by women. We need more of that in the US. And it works so well. So I'm going to go with 8 piffles. That really didn't work for me. Really didn't work for me, but not in a bad, not in an evil way, just in more like a, no thank you. So many things I have free watch, like the Princess Peach and the Dangerous Woman and the pork thing. So there's a lot of good rewatchability in a lot of the sketches. So 8 piffles for me.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I think I totally agree with everything Deej said. Aimee was an absolute delight. I loved the 80s music video. I loved the pork. And things that didn't hit for me as much were still fairly funny. It was a very fun episode. I would say I'm gonna exact Xerox. There's a blast from the past. Deej's piffle number, and I'm gonna say 8 piffles for me as well.
Well, with the amount of fighting that I have done for the honor of certain sketches in this episode, I think I would be remiss if I did not give it a bit of a higher rating. So I'm going to say 9 because great host, great utilization of the host, great making her the center point for a lot of the sketches, and she ran with the ball. So that on technical effort and execution, flawless. Musical guest, banging, as Deej and I have exhaustively discussed. Banger musical guest. Pre-tape to the moon with British pork. So I'm very comfortable giving this 9 piffles.
British pork was live.
Oh, degree of difficulty increased.
Yeah, there you go.
9.25 piffles. 9.25 piffles.
Awesome. So we have 2 more episodes to go. Hopefully, and luckily, I think will be done before SNL UK starts on the 12th. Singa, stop scratching me with your paw. We'll get more treats in the bedroom after I'm done here. Silly little merc. I love him, but sometimes it's a pain. But another episode in the can. We're coming up. I'll have to double check our date of our first podcast. We're coming up on our first anniversary. Like I mentioned in We Hard Hater, we may not have a big audience, but we have a very dedicated audience. So I want to thank you so much. And the partnership between myself and Shari and Demi, absolutely fabulous all over the place. So as we conclude, and you go off on your merry way, go forth and find the funny.
Funny is hope.
Saturday Night Ladies is a presentation of Wacky Notion Productions. Hosted by Deeds Behrens, Shari Fesco, and Debbie Constantine. Recorded and edited by Deeds Behrens. Off-week show research by Shari Fesco. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just email SaturdayNightLadies1978@gmail.com. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for listening.